April 1 is not arriving as an ordinary moon. This full moon in Libra is a mirror, and what it reflects cannot be unseen. Something reaches emotional completion under this sky. A truth you have been circling, avoiding, sensing in fragments, or feeling. In your body long before your mind had language for it is finally stepping forward. This is not the kind of cosmic moment that whispers softly and disappears. This one arrives like a mirror, being lifted directly in front of your soul, forcing you to face what has been real all along. A relationship truth, a self-worth truth, a destiny truth. A truth about what you have outgrown, what you have tolerated, and what can no longer follow you into the next version of your life. Before we step deeper into this full moon mirror, subscribe to the channel and like this video if you have already been feeling that something hidden is about to come into the light. These cosmic messages always reach the right souls at the right time, and the truth waiting for the 3 most affected zodiac signs. Tonight is too important to miss. You must understand what is happening now. The full moon in Libra does not only illuminate love, it illuminates balance. It reveals where energy has become unequal, where your peace has been traded for potential, where your silence has protected patterns that should have ended long ago. Libra is the sign of harmony, but true harmony is not performance. It is not pretending everything is fine. It is not smiling while your spirit contracts. It is not calling confusion patience or emotional distance timing. Under this moon, the mirror becomes sacred because it reflects the exact place where truth and illusion have been sharing the same room. And deep down, felt this coming for weeks, maybe longer. Something in your emotional world has been changing texture. Conversations may have felt thinner. Certain people may have started sounding different even when they used the same words. Your body may have been catching signals before your mind could interpret them. A heaviness in the chest when someone says what you want to hear, but not what they truly mean. A strange fatigue after being around people who once felt safe. Restlessness before sleep. Vivid dreams that replay old scenes with new understanding. A pressure in the throat, as if the truth has been waiting behind your voice. It's asking for release. This is the mirror working before the moon even arrives, because the truth rarely enters all at once. It begins as reflection. A repeated emotional pattern. A sentence someone says that suddenly sounds different. A silence that feels louder than words. A memory that returns not to hurt you, but to show you the original lesson you almost missed. The full moon in Libra on April 1st brings karmic symmetry. What you have given without receiving becomes visible. What you have chased without peace becomes visible. What you have been over-explaining, overthinking, overprotecting, over-sacrificing now stands before you in undeniable emotional light. This is why the mirror motif matters so deeply under this moon. You are not simply being shown another person. You are being shown yourself inside the pattern. The version of you that kept hoping effort could replace alignment. The version of you that confused chemistry with safety. The version of you that stayed loyal to old pain because it felt familiar. This is the karmic shift, not because something outside of you changes first, but because the mirror no longer lets you look away. You may have been living in a season of emotional suspension, waiting for clarity, waiting for someone to prove themselves, waiting for the right timing, waiting for closure, confirmation, or the sign that tells you whether to keep investing your heart, your energy, your patience, your hope. But this moon does not reward endless waiting. It rewards emotional honesty. It asks one sacred question. Does this connection, this path, this promise, this life direction reflect your truth, or only your longing? That distinction changes everything, because longing can keep. People trapped in mirrors that reflect fantasy instead of reality. You begin seeing potential instead of behavior. You begin interpreting breadcrumbs as devotion. You begin mistaking silence for mystery when it is actually emotional avoidance. Under Libra's full moon, the mirror clears. The fog on the glass disappears. What remains is the raw, emotional geometry of your life. Who meets you where you stand? Who drains your nervous system? creates confusion every time clarity is needed, who only becomes emotionally available when they feel you pulling away, who makes your body feel calm, who makes your intuition tighten. This is not random emotional intensity. This is karmic balancing through revelation. And because Libra rules reciprocity, contracts, partnership, fairness, and the emotional architecture of connection, many of you will feel this truth most strongly in relationships, but relationships are not only romantic. This mirror can reveal the imbalance inside friendships, family ties, collaborations, business partnerships, and even your relationship with your own future. Some of you are about to realize that the biggest imbalance was never another person. It was the way you abandoned yourself to keep the peace. That realization can feel like grief at first. The mirror is compassionate, but it is honest. It may show you how long you have been shrinking to fit places you outgrew. It may reveal the hidden exhaustion behind always being the emotionally mature one. It may expose how often you translated mixed signals into hope because the alternative truth felt too sharp to hold. But this truth is not punishment. It is liberation through reflection. The karmic cycle ending now is the cycle of emotional self-betrayal. The lesson closing is the belief that your worth must be negotiated. The chapter beginning is one where your peace becomes the standard, and this shift may feel physical under a truth-heavy full moon like this. The body often speaks before life circumstances fully change. You may notice a sudden need for more sleep, but still wake from dreams that feel symbolic, layered, and strangely specific. You may feel emotional pressure in the chest, throat, shoulders, or jaw. Some of you may notice sudden tears that seem to come from nowhere. Others may feel numbness first, followed by waves of clarity later in the day. Your nervous system may become highly sensitive to people's tone, eye contact, timing, and energetic inconsistency. This is because the mirror is not only mental, it is somatic. The body knows when a truth has reached maturity, financially. This full moon in Libra may also reveal an imbalance that has been hidden under routine. Money is deeply connected to self-worth under Libra themes, because what you allow financially often mirrors what you believe you deserve. Some of you may suddenly see where generosity has become self-neglect. Others may recognize that fear of conflict has caused poor business boundaries, undercharging, delayed payments, or overcommitting to work that drains your spirit. The mirror asks, where have you been investing energy without fair return? This applies to money, time, creativity, and emotional labor. A life-changing truth may emerge around contracts, shared resources, long-term planning, or someone's true intentions around financial partnership. Watch for what becomes obvious around delayed promises, vague commitments, and people who speak in future plans without present consistency. Libra energy wants alignment between words and structure. The same is true in your career. Some of you are about to see clearly that your work environment reflects an old self-concept, a version of you that believed survival mattered more than fulfillment. This moon may bring a conversation, realization, or inner reckoning that reveals it is time to renegotiate your role, your boundaries, your pricing, your availability, or your willingness to stay in systems that no longer honor your growth. And this truth, once seen, becomes impossible to return from, because the mirror changes the one who looks into it, in love. This is where everything intensifies. The full moon in Libra does not tolerate emotional half-presence. If someone has been sending mixed signals, disappearing, withholding, or creating intimacy without accountability, the mirror exposes the entire pattern. But more importantly, it shows you why you accepted it. This is the deeper karmic truth. Not simply what they did, but what it mirrored inside your unmet needs, old wounds, attachment memory, or fear of emptiness. This is where healing becomes sacred. Because once the mirror reveals the root, you stop chasing the reflection. You begin choosing the real. And for some of you, this moon will not end a connection. It will transform it through honesty. One conversation. One truth finally spoken. One moment of emotional maturity. One apology that carries changed behavior. One boundary that restores balance. one confession that turns uncertainty into direction. But whether something ends or deepens, the mirror's purpose is the same: to align you with truth strong enough to hold your future. This is where the energy becomes even more personal, because Libra, Aries, and Capricorn are about to experience this mirror in 3 completely different ways: through love, identity, life direction, karmic closure. The sign-specific readings reveal exactly what truth changes everything, what chapter closes, and what the universe is asking each sign to finally see. What began as a quiet emotional recognition now becomes deeply personal, because this full moon in Libra is no longer reflecting only the general truth of imbalance. It is reflecting where your life has reached the point of no return. Karmic. The cycle is ending, but endings under Libra are rarely chaotic. They arrive through recognition, through contrast, through the moment your spirit finally sees what your longing tried to hide. This is why the second half of this transit feels sharper. The mirror is no longer on the wall, it is in your hands. You are being asked to decide what truth you are willing to live by after April 1st. For some of you, the truth is about love. For others, it is about the standards you have been negotiating downward. For many, it is about the relationship between self-respect and destiny itself. And because this moon forms its deepest karmic doorway through polarity, the signs most affected will feel this as a direct confrontation between old identity and new alignment. The mirror does not lie, but it also does not punish. It reveals the precise emotional architecture of what must now change. Before we move into the 3 signs, there is one more layer you must understand. This full moon in Libra can create a strange split sensation in the body. One part of you may feel calm because the truth is finally becoming visible. Another part may feel restless because clarity requires action. This can show up as interrupted sleep, waking between 2 and 4 a.m., throat tightness, stomach sensitivity, unusual emotional fatigue, sudden tears during ordinary moments, or a deep urge to withdraw from noise. Do not mistake this for weakness. This is the body processing truth at the speed the mind has resisted for months. Hydration matters more under this moon because Libra rules internal equilibrium. Your nervous system needs support while the emotional mirror clears. Reduce overstimulation, protect your sleep, limit unnecessary conflict. Watch how quickly your body relaxes around people who are aligned, and how quickly it contracts around people who require you to explain your worth. That contrast is part of the message now. Let's step into the 3 signs. Libra, the mirror returns to you, Libra. This is your moon. The mirror is not showing you another person first, it is showing you yourself. For too long, you have been managing harmony externally while carrying dissonance internally, keeping the peace. Softening your truth. Reading rooms before expressing your own needs, hoping balance would emerge if you stayed patient long enough. But this full moon in your sign becomes the moment your soul refuses cosmetic harmony. A life-changing truth arrives through self-recognition. You may suddenly realize that what exhausted you was not love, work, family, or timing alone. It was the weight of constant emotional translation. Explaining yourself so others remain comfortable. Making room for people who do not make room for you. Calling imbalance understanding. Calling self-abandonment maturity. The mirror returns this energy to you now, and what it reveals is sacred. Your peace cannot survive where your truth is edited. Some Libras will experience this through a major relationship conversation. A silence finally breaks. Someone reveals what they truly want. You hear yourself say what you should have said months ago. The power is not only in what is spoken, it is in the way your body feels after it is spoken. Lighter, straighter, more present in your own life. Financially, Libra, this truth may connect to value exchange. Undercharging, overgiving, people-pleasing in business, saying yes too quickly, or avoiding necessary negotiations may now feel impossible to continue. The mirror asks what your gifts are actually worth when separated from guilt. The karmic cycle ending for you is the cycle of peacekeeping. At the expense of self-respect, the new chapter begins the moment you stop confusing softness with self-erasure. Aries, the mirror shows the other side of your fire, Aries. This full moon rises opposite your sign, which means the mirror arrives through the people closest to you. But what it truly reveals is the relationship between your independence and your vulnerability. You may have spent months moving forward, solving, building, pushing, surviving, deciding. Staying in motion because motion felt safer than emotional stillness. Yet Libra's moon slows the room down and places a mirror directly inside your closest dynamics. A partner, friend, collaborator, or even an old rival may reflect a truth that changes your trajectory. The life-changing truth for Aries is this: strength is no longer measured by how much you can carry alone. This moon may reveal where your instinct to protect yourself has become emotional distance. It may show you how quickly you interpret silence as rejection, or how fast you move into action before giving yourself space to feel what is actually happening. The mirror is not criticizing your fire. It is refining it. For some Aries viewers, this truth lands in love. You realize someone has been showing up consistently, while your mind stayed fixed on someone unavailable. For others, you finally recognize that a connection built on intensity lacks actual reciprocity. The chemistry was real, but the future was not. This is the karmic shift, seeing the difference between passion and partnership, career-wise Aries. The mirror may reveal where leadership has become over-responsibility. You may be carrying roles, expectations, or emotional burdens that belong to others. A work conversation around fairness, recognition, or compensation could become the catalyst that redefines your next 6 months. The lesson closing now is over identification. With self-reliance, the chapter opening is true aligned. Partnership. And once you feel what genuine support does to your nervous system, the old version of strength will no longer satisfy you. Capricorn, the mirror, reveals the cost of control. Capricorn. This full moon in Libra reaches into the architecture of your life. Career, status, long-term structure, family roles, responsibility, public identity. This is where the mirror is pointing. You have likely been carrying more than most people. No. Holding systems together, making the difficult decision, being the reliable one, containing emotion. So the larger structure remains intact, but the life-changing truth under this moon is not about whether you are capable. It is about whether the life you built still reflects who you are becoming. This mirror may reveal that success has outlived meaning, or that stability came at the cost of intimacy, or that a long-term plan no longer belongs to the version of you emerging now. This is a powerful karmic checkpoint for Capricorn because Libra asks whether the external structure is fair to the inner self. Some Capricorns will feel this as a truth around career direction. An offer, realization, or internal reckoning exposes the fact that you are ready to leave a role, elevate your standards, or build something that belongs to your real values instead of inherited expectations. Others will feel it in family or partnership dynamics. Where have you become the system? Where has competence replaced connection? Or have people mistaken your strength for infinite availability? The mirror asks what your life looks like when your own emotional reality is included in the blueprint. Financially, this can be highly significant. A decision around investments, long-term contracts, home, land, or shared resources may arrive with unusual clarity. Trust what becomes structurally obvious. Libra does not force. It reveals proportion. The cycle ending for Capricorn is survival through control. The chapter beginning is success through conscious balance, and that balance may become the most powerful wealth move of your year. Now the relationships section of this full moon reaches its final layer across all signs. The mirror teaches one truth. Watch behavior after emotional revelation. Words under Libra can be beautiful, but the karmic lesson is not in promises. It is in change patterns. If someone speaks beautifully under this full moon, but returns to the same behavior by week's end, The mirror has already answered the question for you. This is why your actionable guidance matters now. Slow down before reacting. Journal the truth exactly as it appears. Do not soften what the mirror showed. You have one honest conversation instead of 10 imagined ones. Protect your money where fairness is unclear. Observe. Who becomes more consistent after clarity? Rest when your body asks. Drink water before. Emotional spirals. Do not chase people who only become warm when they sense distance. Watch. Actions over language. Most importantly, do not negotiate with the truth once it arrives, because the blessing of this full moon in Libra is not comfort. It is precision. The universe is not trying to break your heart. It is trying to remove distortion from the mirror. So your future is built on what is real, and that is the final blessing of April 1st, a life-changing. Truth does not always arrive as loss. Sometimes it arrives as relief. The relief of finally seeing clearly. The relief of no longer performing confusion. The relief of realizing your soul was never asking for more effort, only more honesty. This mirror was always waiting for the moment you were strong enough to look. Now you are. So if this message found you at exactly the right moment, take it as confirmation. The karmic cycle is closing. The mirror is clear. And the version of your life built on truth begins now. The universe is not asking you to fear what it reveals. It is asking you to trust that what survives the mirror belongs in your destiny.